Well, homeboys and homegirls, we're in the gear closet again. Do we got some gear? Yeah, this time we actually do.
Okay, this is going to be interesting, so I got to do a split here.
How's those shoes working out for you?
Not bad. Not feeling like they're making me a Super Saiyan.
I wouldn't be able to step on that one you're on right now, so...
And guess what? Where to now? Over here?
Hey, that works. Good.
Yeah. Fell down that rush though.
You able to get your left leg up to those ones on your left there?
No. Not possible. In which case, we should do this.
You start being at an angle now.
Alright, coming down.
Alright.
I'm going to swing a little bit now. There we go. Alright. So my deal is, I had to use a couple of the green grips, which are rated 511. No, that still ruins the tape, doesn't it?
What is creaking? It better be the fucking floor, not this... Oh god. It's the Pelican case. Pelican case shouldn't fucking creak. It's a $130 fucking case, man! So me and my climbing buddy yesterday, we went to the climbing gym, the triangle climbing gym that's in Morrisonville? Morrison. Wait, god, I'm getting a flashback. The last episode of our climbing adventures took place there, and I still couldn't remember. I think it's Morrisonville. Morrisville. I don't know. It's Morrisville. Anyway, long story short, we decided to go back, but the parking lot was full up. Now, we would later on find out that this had to do with the fact that they were holding some kind of competition there. So most of the amazing rock walls that are in that gym were off limits to us, novice climbers while the competition was going on. Doesn't that just figure? That's just my luck. But fortunately for us, their whole other half of the gym is I wouldn't say it's as big as any other climbing gym we've been to, but at least like 3/4 the size, which is still really impressive. But before we found all that out, we decided to go to the local REI. That might have been, is it Apex, Cary, Raleigh? I don't know, dude. The triad. Everything that's anything that you would know of or heard of is in the little triangle that, is... It's roughly at the center of the state. Wow, I never really thought of it. I always thought of Raleigh as being kind of northeastward, but I guess that's more like Rocky Mount. I was all the way at Elizabeth City that one time, and I never went to Kitty Hawk. I was like 25 miles away. And it was getting dark. I thought I was going to fall asleep at the fucking wheel. We dipped our heads into REI. Always a great place to go into. It's like a candy store for me. We dicked around for, maybe about like 20 minutes, but the main reason that we were there was to look for climbing shoes. Due to the generosity of my family and random strangers on the internet, and the generosity of a really good old friend, I decided that I was actually financially stable enough to front the money for the climbing shoes rather than take the crappy rentals they have. Usually for you when you buy a day pass. Stuff like that, it's a little intimidating. You kind of feel like there's some sort of exact science to it, and you ask around to a bunch of different people, and you sometimes get conflicting information. Some people say that the shoe should fit relatively normally and be comfortable. Others say that if it is not uncomfortable, that your shoes technically don't fit. And of course, this doesn't need to really be said, but we both are just novice climbers. This review is not like professional. This is not expert advice. This is just my experience of trying to get into the sport of climbing. I can't remember what the very first brand that I tried out I'd never heard of. I don't remember. There was a 510. They had, like, maybe about, you know, a dozen different shoes lined up for men in their little climbing section. Various different brands. I was not impressed with the Black Diamond brand, which really is interesting because all my carabiners, well, except for that one. All right, this is what we've decided to refer to as the Edgy Boy carabiner. The perfectly square shape makes it really difficult to actually get it on and off of your harness when you need to. Don't know why. It was designed to look cool, not to actually be functional, so that's why we continue to use it. Because this is fun. We're having fun. Right, but my other carabiner was a Black Diamond, and my harness is a Black Diamond. You know, so far, all of my shit's been Black Diamond, but really all they had was the Velcro, you know, crossover shoes. I can't remember what they wanted. I think it was $95. So here's the thing. Price. You'd be surprised the things that I am a cheap bastard over versus the things that I really will spend a lot of money on, which these days is not that much. Man, remember the days when I used to spend money on suits and knives and other stuff? Whiskey. Man, the days when I had to have, you know, top shelf whiskey. What a fucking waste. It's all the same shit and it all poisons you. But either way, I was looking for something around like the $80 mark. We were looking at some of the shoes at the climbing gym. I'm really glad we went to REI. They had a wider selection to choose from. The ones at the climbing gym, there was like a pair that was $80, and I can't remember why. It didn't seem fetching. I don't really remember why. We glanced over it, but the rest of them were all in the $150 mark. REI had them from $80, $90, $95, $109, $150, $190. The 510s were like the $150 market. That's a little high. That's too high for someone who doesn't climb as good as I do. The first pair that I really landed on was a brand that I actually never heard of called La Sportiva. La Sportiva? Fuck. Hang on. La Sportiva! Papa the poopy spaghetti. Apparently the brand is Italian. I noticed that my buddy, the one that he got, his had the Italian flag on them. Good luck. Get that left all the way up there. There you go. Now what? I swear to God, Tom, if you actually do this, I'm gonna... I really do hate you. Ah, yep, and now you're using all your arms. There you go. You got it? Yeah, right. Okay. You can get your right hand up to that other one. Got it? How is it you did not swing back? You were not sitting in your harness. Your little shoes have Italian symbols. Why don't mine have Italian symbols? Right there on the show the camera. Step into the light.
Step into the light?
Yeah. Look at your shoes. Look, they have the Italian flag.
Oh, there it is. Okay, cool.
You got spaghetti shoes.
Italian!
Let me see your spaghetti shoes. Spaghetti shoes. These are also spaghetti shoes. They're all spaghetti shoes. Bop it a boopy. Yeah, we do. We suck. So, I don't know. I'm guessing a lot of this, like... I'm aware that, like, certain specialty things get made in European countries. You know, it's like... the Australian guy who does my ASMR, look it up, I'm not going to explain it to you, he has a white balance card that makes really excellent tapping sounds, and it's from like some custom company called Novo in Germany. This may seem kind of off topic if you're only tuning in for climbing stuff, but to all of my fans who've been following me for a very long time, who quite possibly might be the only people watching this, this might seem a little off topic, but another thing that comes from Italy, it's kind of near and dear to my heart. Right before leaving Maryland, I think maybe about a year before, Zach gifted me this, and I can't remember where he said he got it. I think his grandfather brought it back during World War II. But it's something that I've always wanted, and somehow he just happened to have it. This is a Italian-made switchblade with a cross hilt that has the lock on, which is why I cannot deploy it. Oof, Charlie Brown, oof. Oh. No, it does not. You have to press the button hard. There we go. This is a meme knife. This is not an actual knife. I mean, you would have an easier time killing somebody with a boot. But, as a piece of history, this is beautiful. I called it Ellie. Yeah, remember that game series that never got to take off? But, like, I never got a chance to show this off because, well, Let's just say, in North Carolina, these are completely legal. You may own them, you may open carry them. And that's the kind of freedom that I can really get behind. But let's just say it wasn't always that way. So. And to find a switchblade with a crossguard. You know how weird that is? It's just a shame. I don't think I'll be able to keep this in mint condition for forever. I'm not sure what I can do. Well, it's under tension. Maybe I should leave it deployed. That's a thought. Comment if you know. So I kind of drew the conclusion that maybe a lot of rock climbing shoes get made in Italy. La Sportiva started off as a family-owned company that produced clogs and work shoes for farmers around like 1914. And then for the Italians, produced like special mountaineering boots for their military. And then I think somewhere around like the 60s they started producing like legit alpine and ice climbing and rock climbing shoes and stuff like that. So that's all the information that I could gather about their brand. Hell, I even tried to do actual research, like going on their website to find like the specs of the shoes that I ended up getting, and there is literally no information really. It's like they're 9 ounces. You know what I mean? It's like, was that information that you desperately could only have found through a 20-minute YouTube video? Are you sure? So I initially donned the finales, and those had this tendency to sort of grip my Achilles tendon. They were pinching the Achilles tendon quite hard. The REI had like a little like simulated rock, a massive simulated boulder, like at the back near the shoe department, which was quite a walk away. But essentially the dude who was working there was like, bro, go try it out on the freaking rock, see how grippy they are. And I did, and I quite liked them. They were $109, and I could have gone for them, but I went for the slightly cheaper, although just almost as good feeling, the $80 model, Sportiva Tarantulace. Now, I don't know if that's like... Oh no, I do know if that's like... I was thinking to myself, are they being funny? Tarantulace, because like, shoes have laces and tarantulas climb. And then I thought to myself, no dude, you're being silly. Like, it's quite possibly that Tarantulace is Italian for tarantula, but I know from Ennio Morricone's work, Rabbia e Tarantula, that tarantula is Italian for tarantula. That was the song from Inglourious Basterds, the ending with dun 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 dun. I love Ennio Morricone. He is the greatest fucking composer. Anyone who says John Williams is a better composer than Ennio Morricone has to fight me in the parking lot. Anyway, you can already see, maybe you can, maybe you can't underneath the light, they're already kind of got dust all over them. And a chunk, oh boy, where like it looks like the rubber, oh no, never mind. That's dust. Oh, that's chalk dust. Woo! It almost seemed like, just from climbing yesterday, that they had already worn out the texture, that brushed texture that you see on the bottom of the rubber of brand new climbing shoes. It almost seemed like that had gotten scraped down, had been worn down to a more smooth rubber, and I was about to lose my shit. Like, one climbing session, and then these are fucked. No, these feel really well made. I donned these, and these were slightly more comfortable, actually. And again, I'm going against the wisdom of, well, you know, if you're not uncomfortable. The only thing that I can really say is that when you are spending an extended amount of time hanging on these micro ledges with the tip, just the tip, your big toe has a tendency to get pinched a little bit, but in my experience, if you spend too much time hanging on micro ledges with your feet anyway, you're gonna fall because you're gonna run out of stamina. But then again, there's also a possibility that I just climb like garbage.
Reel me in. Yarr! This is gonna, with that overhang, this is gonna suck. I can feel the suck. I got one got in there. Yeah, right. It's battling in it. Okay.
It's the white whale. Arrgh.
That's racist. Now what? Come on. What? I'm gonna have to fall back. I'm going back at you. You realize that? Come on, step out of the way. Let's see if I can descend. Alright.
Do you want to get back on the wall, or do you want to like burn up on the
try
place?
a less insane wall.
Is that 8 plus is what we're supposed to be practicing on?
Yeah, well, what do we do when we get up to that point?
That's the.
Nathan, that's a Nathan Drake jump.
Do it harder.
Oh, okay. Well, that's you're gonna do that then.
You just stepped on it.
Oh yeah, free gym chalk. Favorite.
I don't need to buy this stuff. More of that.
Legit. Someone just knocked an entire pile of cocaine. I mean, 5'8", little green men from Mars. Hey, little blue man. Don't tell nobody. Oops.
Yes. I guess stay to the right. I thought that was. There's more stuff on the right as we get to it.
Oh crap. I got stumped the same way you did.
Yeah. There you go. Okay, cool.
You can't do it, gonna fall.
So move to the right, if you can. There you go.
Don't have the strength to fall. Damn. I don't even remember what I did last time.
It's pretty intuitive until you get to the overhang, man. You gotta figure out how to pull yourself up. Try to conserve what you got until you get up to that.
Yeah, I tried to. I'm moving faster.
The one by your to your right there. You gotta get your right foot up to that. One to your left. There you go. Get your right over there. Good.
Ooh, that one's lovely.
All right. Cool. We're gonna check on your brother. There you go. Mostly smooth sailing from here.
Shooting once, shooting twice, falling fast.
Made it. I'd say made it.
Heck, but all right. At least I did one that I couldn't before. Okay, take it. We're gonna take it down a notch. Bam. Suck on.
No, I'm supposed to say suck on. You're supposed to say suck on.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
One by your knee. There you go.
Well, I'm gonna pick up the pad. Let me know.
No, no, that's weird. You let go and you went that way?
So that one grip right there is like a smooth, just solid smooth boulder.
And I guess I'm kind of coming to the conclusion after both me and my buddy have done independent research on this, and it might just be that we have really bad technique. Anyone who, fuck it, you don't gotta even donate on Patreon. Come to my climbing gym and show me how I'm fucking up, and I'll donate 100 like, help me. So yeah, they're relatively easy to get on and off, not as easy as a normal shoe, and a little bit more difficult than, like, you know, the crappy gym shoes that you tend to get. These are size 11s, so, yeah, yesterday I heard the REI guy talk about, you know, conflicting wisdom. Guy at REI said, well, you know, some guys say that you go down a size from your shoe size. No! Are you high? At least the way that I was taught, you go up 2 sizes from your average shoe size. Well, I go up 1.5, so from 9.5 to 11s. So this is a men's size 11, which I think is like a 44.5. I tossed the box. You're not gonna see the box. I threw the box out at the climbing gym. I was told by some boulders, you know, at Hanging Rock, that the shoes would be able, once you got a decent pair of shoes, that they would be able to bring you up an entire grade. Yeah, man, I don't know about that. That kind of stuck in there and broke it off a little bit. I was kind of hoping I would get back to at least climbing 5.8s, 5.9s, but that entire session I felt like I was stuck on the 5.7s.
Like this, like a normal person?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you're recording.
Alright, I'm gonna try to do a 5.9. At 5.8 plus, with the overhang, it seems more mean than this 5.9. We're about 5.9.
It really does, that's weird.
Okay, what I really want to do is put my left foot on my right foot here. Hold on. That's cool. Alright.
Cut.
I put all my mistakes, and I never used to really edit the videos. I mean, I had never cut them. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny, that used to be a trait valued amongst YouTubers back in the day, but now it's hated.
Well, they used to do quick cut. Yeah. It really helped me taller.
It is nice.
Yes. Well, having gene backgrounds and not having the Fox 3 gene activated. I sound like I'm from Metal Gear Solid now. Okay.
Alright, Revolver Ocelot.
Revolver.
Now where?
I feel like you're doing two different tracks here. They're both the same color, though, I think. I don't know. I'm not good with these things.
Dang it. I just need those two. Don't care. 0 to 10.
So, you just climbed the wall. What are you...
And it could be just the ratings in the gyms are schizophrenic, you know what I mean? It's like, I swear to God, I've done 5.9s before. And maybe that's just like beginner's luck, and it's like, were you able to consistently do 5.9s? Or was that gym just rating, you know, rating really easy? Is this gym rating normal? Is this gym rating hard? Were the other gyms rating easy? Who knows? But these were really comfortable. I like the price point of 80. They feel well made, and they definitely did the job. I have no doubt that a skilled-ass climber using these shoes could definitely do 5.13, higher, you know? It's definitely a matter of skill. And some strength, I assume. Should have worn a short-sleeve shirt for this instead of the Nathan Drake shirt so I could show you my sick biceps. I mean, they're definitely coming along a little bit, but forearms have been getting kind of noodly lately. I've been stopping the exercise at the gym where you coil and uncoil the broomstick that has the weights attached to it. The reason being that it was straining some of the tendon in my arms. In fact, the tendons in my arms feel great now. Just not climbing as good. That's some monkey's paw shit, ain't it? Not really sure what else to say. I'm a little butthurt that I looked on their website and the color that they did not offer them in was kiwi. So I got, like, bright orange. I got, you know, red-kneed tarantula color. I want a kiwi. Green. I want some apple drink. Water, green, sugar. These are the ingredients to apple drink. So I also found out that the climbing gyms offer resolings, which is like, hey, fuck you. Resolings, which is like where once your shoes have gotten worn out, which my climbing sensei, who actually really can climb, he told me that a good pair of shoes will last you like 6 months if you climb often enough. And like, ugh, that's a little demoralizing. Damn. But for 50 bucks, they can resole them. But then again, for 80 bucks, you can just buy another dang pair. I'm surprised I was able to find a pair that fit me so well. It might sound strange, but I've always had trouble finding good shoes, finding shoes that work with my weird, like, feet. I don't really think I have fallen arches, but I definitely don't think that I have a very prominent arch. And I've looked into that, by the way. That old 1950s myth of fallen arches mean you can't run. Well, you do expend more energy, but the Army did trials, and they basically figured out that it's like a negligible amount of energy. It's like the difference between using an elliptical and just running. Like, essentially, it's the same amount of energy, maybe about like minus 25%. So a soldier with flat feet has to run 125% as hard as a soldier with not flat feet. It's not or whatever. Ooh. Buddy, that's some ASMR right there. Oh, that's some good ASMR. Alright, Tolstoy's climbing ASMR, man. Go. Break it, break it, break it, break it. Boot-da-da, boot-da-da, boot-da-da. Okay, we gotta stop doing that. And you will also notice that there is rubber treads all the way going up the back of the heel. I'm guessing that's for... I've seen some climbers who legitimately use moves where, like, they are underneath an underhang and they just sort of stick their foot out. You know what I mean? And they just kind of upside down, if this is the ledge, and they're like, ah, here you go, here's a hold. And they'll just use the underside of their heel, and I'm like, no. Send that back to your witch coven, you fucking witch. That shit's not for real. Anyway, we also took a look at some of that rope there. $109. That was the cheapest package of rope. That's the suicide rope. That's the fucking rope that's for me, man. So $109, man. If you Patreon people, keep it up. If you're gonna see me doing this on the outside. Well, if I can ever learn to consistently climb, because I was told if you can't consistently climb 5/8, you're not gonna have a good time. But this was the next step. I really hope this wasn't a waste of money. Coming from a novice, if you are a novice and you need a good first pair, highly recommend. Within the good price point, yeah, it's basically slightly better than the ones that you're gonna get at the gym for rental. They come in bitchin' colors such as angry orange and awesome kiwi, and you can make bitchin' sounds with them. Make sure to leave plenty of comments giving me constructive criticism and or abuse, whichever one you so desire. And in the meantime, just assume that whenever you see a Let's Play that I make, it means that I will never, ever, ever go back to doing any of the old videos that I used to do ever again. I honestly think at some point I'm literally just going to film a review of this map. Because I love the United States. Like, the way that a mother loves her child, even if he's a fuck-up, it's her only child. She's got to love it. He's like that kid that was born out of wedlock because she was a groupie that got knocked up by, like, you know, one of the hottest, like, you know, rock stars or, you know, NFL players or some shit like that. So just, despite the fact that it's a bastard, all of it is just fucking beautiful as shit. So Galveston's right there next to Houston. I mean, just thinking about how big the freaking Chesapeake Bay was, and then looking down here and seeing the Gulf of Mexico and realizing how much of our territory is just open for fishing and swimming, despite the fact that it's probably insanely polluted right now due to the fucking oil spills that keep happening. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. Well, anyway, I gotta go meal prep. Chicken, spinach, and rice isn't gonna cook itself.